Hello, Tim. This is GM Danielson here, reading the story The Replacements that you messaged me about in March. My apologies that I did not get to this sooner, so without further ado, The Replacements by Cap'n 1701. Hello, my name is Tim. Let me start out by saying that I'm just an ordinary guy. I have a pretty basic life like everyone else. You know, going to the store, shopping, going to work, and so on. The past week's events have prompted me to start writing things down, however. About a week ago, the morning started out just like any other morning for me. Got up at 5:30 a.m., started coffee, walked outside listening to the birds chirping, and proceeded to get ready for work. Got to work and started my deliveries for the day, and when I arrived at the second customer, I noticed that the parking lot was almost empty. Then something else caught my attention. You know, the everyday sounds that we get so used to, so much so that we automatically just block them out? Background traffic, birds, people's voices, etc. Well, I turned the truck off and noticed, or realized rather, that there were no sounds. It was dead quiet. I stood there for a moment and then brushed it off, grabbed the customer's product and proceeded to go into the building. Again, there was that unsettling quiet. No TV playing, no weather reports, nothing. I set down the items where they belonged and walked up to the counter for a signature. The lady, we'll call her June, was standing there, but she had a terribly blank look in her eyes, absolutely no emotion at all. She greeted me and handed me the delivery sign-in sheet. As I began to sign, she just continued to stare blankly at me and in a slow, broken voice replied, "Signature delivery." Yes, please." She very slowly picked up the pen and scrawled something not even close to a name that could be read. I thought to myself, okay, whatever. I gave her a copy and left, thinking that was weird. The rest of the day went normally. Well, sort of. I did notice that there was not much traffic as usual on the main roads and highways. Kinda made me happy no slow drivers were there to slow me down. I went back to the main store, clocked out, and went home. Several days passed with similar happenings, as I already described. Less traffic and people acting, for lack of a better term, zoned out. One morning when I got up and I went outside, there were no sounds, nothing, no off-in-the-distance traffic. Now I started to feel really creeped out. On my way into work, there was little to no traffic anywhere. I got to work, clocked in, got my truck and headed out to make my usual deliveries as the day before. Today, my first stop was an industrial complex. The lots should have been filled with cars and trucks, but there was only a few scattered about. What I did see was a few people outside the buildings, just standing there, not even moving. I thought to myself, what the hell was this? I arrived where I was to make the delivery. I went inside, and every worker was just standing there, not even moving. They all very slowly turned to watch me come in and set down the items I had there for inventory. I went to the manager and asked for a signature, and he had that same stiff, blank stare on his face. Now I was feeling really, really freaked out. I dropped his copy and just left, and when I got back into the truck, on the radio there was an announcement in a flat, monotone voice to all citizens to please return to their homes, to please clear the streets, and that we had 1 hour to comply. This same monotone message just kept repeating, so I returned to my workplace, parked the truck as normal, and went in to tell my boss what I had heard. Again, with that complete silence and no movement, they said there had been no radio. Nothing. I saw 2 warehouse workers just standing there, not moving, and went to my boss's office, and he was sitting behind his desk with a blank expression on his face. He raised his head slowly to me and said in a flat voice, "Go home. Done for the day." I started to get chills up my back, wondering what the hell was going on. When I got home, I called my friend Jay, and he said, "Yeah, I got the same order to go back home for the day. What the fuck was going on?" I did not have an answer. Shortly after that, he came over to my house and suggested we go to his grandmother just a couple of blocks away. While walking over there, we both noticed again that there were no bird sounds and no people, no lawnmowers running, nothing. Damn eerie. When we got to her house, she at first seemed to be normal like us, greeted my friend with a happy hug like grandmas always do, and we went in. She said that she had not noticed anything strange like we were describing, and excused herself and went through the door, which looked like she was going down to the basement. After 30 minutes of her not returning, I went looking for her and went to the same door and started down the stairs. Down and down I went. I guess it seemed like I was now 50 feet below ground level. A short hallway led to several doors right and left of the hall. I opened up the first on my right and found a room with a drape across the middle. I slowly pulled it aside, and there was on all sides computers and monitors, and in the center was a table with at first what I thought was someone lying down. I stepped closer and was staring at what? My mind just couldn't comprehend what my eyes were seeing. I knew I must have stopped breathing for a minute or so because I let out a sharp gush of wind and a monotone cry. There, on the table, was a human-shaped something, an incomplete robot or android, the face not where one should have been. Instead, a circuit board with 2 round cameras where eyes should have been. The chest was open, revealing wires, computer parts, blinking LED lights. I was completely frozen with shock and fright. What the fuck was I looking at? I was finally able to turn around and run up the stairs to find my friend Jay. I went through the house and found him on the couch. "Dude," I said, "we have to go now." He just looked at me with that blank stare and said, "Your replacement is being prepared." "No," I screamed and ran out of the house, trying to think, what the hell? I had to get back to my house where I had my weapons so I could protect myself. When I reached my home, there were at least 30 people, rather robots and androids, just standing there, blocking my way. I was trapped. What the fuck was happening? What was I to do now? This had to be the end. Just think, the next time you see your neighbor or friend, is he or she what they appear to be? The end.